The House also mandates the House Committee on Legislative Compliance to ensure compliance and report back to the House in 2 weeks. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
He is a member representing one of the constituency in Ekiti State in House of Representatives. Now, how would people believe what he's saying in a situation where our national televisions and newspapers are not reporting insecurity in Ekiti State? And when we bring such news, on YouTube, on Facebook, you know what people would say? It's a propaganda, that we are just trying to dent the image of Nigeria. But here is a House of Rep member crying on the floor, saying that insecurity has overwhelmed them. But how would people believe? That is the question I'm asking, because all this insecurity happening in Nigeria, they are not being reported. They are not reporting what is going on in Nigeria. Because sometimes the kind of news I receive every day, the sense of kidnapping, the sense of killing, my WhatsApp messages are full. But sometimes I decided not to bring those news because people will also come and said, no, these are not recent news. These are not what is happening. But these people are crying for a House of Rep member who is an APC member coming to the House of Rep and begin to share tears. You should know the level of insecurity that has besieged Yoruba land. The other day it was Ondo State. The other day it was Oyo State. Now, this one is from Ekiti State. We are not talking of Abuja.
First of all, let me introduce myself, Mr. Speaker. My name is Akituniro Timi Jr., and I represent the good people of Ekiti North 1 federal constituency comprising Ikole and Oye local governments. Mr. Speaker, it's my pleasure to present this motion of urgent national importance on the criminality currently ravaging Ekiti State. The House notes that there has been an increase in criminal activities in Ekiti North 1 federal constituency in recent times, resulting in the loss of lives and property. The House also notes that the constituency is exposed to peculiar security challenges due to the nature of our forest and topography, and more painfully because Ekiti federal roads are some of the most dilapidated in the entire country. Further notes that on Monday, January 29, 2024, these criminals carried out a dastardly attack in the Okocha area in Ikole local government area, resulting in the death of 2 traditional rulers, the Onimojo of Imojo Ekiti, Oba Dr. Olatunji Samuel Olushola, and the Eleso of Esu Ekiti, Oba David Babatunde Ogushaki, and leaving a host of others with life-threatening injuries. Shocked that this is not an isolated event, as in the past few days alone, a commercial driver was killed between Ayedo and Ayebode by armed bandits. And just yesterday, a school bus load of students were abducted in Emure, Ekiti, and their whereabouts is still unknown till now. Aware that the late Onimojo was an intellectual and highly intelligent historian, an orator who always spoke truth to power. Also aware that the late Elesu was a peace-loving king who was very hands-on in the development of Esu-Ayedu communities. Further aware that because of the topography of the area and the bad roads, there has been an incursion of murderous elements who parade themselves as headsmen, leading to heightened insecurity. The House recognizes that the entire people of Imojo in Oye local government and Esu in Ikole local government and the entire state have been thrown into mourning on account of the loss of our highly revered traditional rulers who were forces for community development, peace and stability in the constituency and the entire state. Cognizant that the Nigerian Army has a military outpost on that road, which has been non-functional as the only patrol on Tuesdays, leaving the communities exposed for the rest of the days. And the Rouse resolves to observe a minute's silence in honor of the memory of the dearly departed monarchs. The House further urges the Chief of Army Staff to redeploy military personnel to the outpost along the Okeako area to enhance security and forestall a repeat of such acts. The House also directs the Inspector General of Police, the Commandant General of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, and other security agencies to deploy more men to Ekiti North 1 and ensure that those who carried out those acts are fished out and brought to justice. The House also urges the security agencies to put all measures in place to rescue the school children and teachers who were abducted in Emure, Ekiti. The House also compels the Ministry of Works and FEMA to immediately rehabilitate the Ayedu to Irele Road and other roads in the federal constituency. The House also mandates the House Committee on Legislative Compliance to ensure compliance and report back to the House. 2 weeks. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
The state governors in Nigeria are absolutely helpless. Normally, according to this, unuseful constitution of Nigeria, every governor of each state, they are the security officers and the chief security officer of every state that are supposed to protect the lives and property of their citizens. But these people are stripped of the power to have their own police. So somebody whom you are saying that is the chief security officer of the state and doesn't have the power to protect the state fully. Forget about the vigilante a governor can set up. What will vigilante do in the face of people carrying AK-47, carrying bomb, carrying all those things? What are they going to do? So it is time to restructure Nigeria. I have been clamoring about this, and I'm not going to be tired about this. Because people will come here to comment or to air another view. You know why? Because their mother is not a victim, their brother is not a victim, they themselves have not been victim, their people have not been victim. If it happens to you, you will understand what we are saying. If it happens to you, you will understand what we are saying. So it is time for Nigeria to return to regional government. Let them restructure Nigeria, where every region will have their own security. Every state will have their own police. They will control their own resources. Let us see if there will be even agitation in Nigeria again. It will solve insecurity. It will solve agitation. It will solve different, kind of mess that is going on. They should return the Republican Constitution of 1963. When Nnamdi Azikiwe was head of state and Tafawa Balewa was prime minister of Nigeria, people respect Nigerians so well. Our passport was ranking so high. Our what is it called? Our currency was equivalent to pounds then. Now, what are we seeing? The dollarization of our naira and so on and so forth. See, the center cannot hold. This small unitary government they call the presidency, it doesn't have the capacity to lead Nigeria. The presidency is not for Nigeria. The earlier we realize this, the better for us. So it is not everything we should politicize. People are dying. So let us just do something that will stop people from dying. That is my own point. People are just dying, and they are dying for nothing.